This risk was ignored until it was too late. Most organizational failures don't begin with chaos. They begin with calm. Everything seems normal. Deadlines are being met. Reports look acceptable. Meetings end with reassurance. And yet, somewhere quietly in the background, a risk is forming. It doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't feel urgent. Someone notices it. Someone mentions it briefly. But the response is always the same. Let's watch it. This is the most dangerous moment in risk management. When the risk exists, but the discomfort of acting feels greater than the risk itself. By the time risk feels obvious, it has already been ignored for too long. Early risks rarely announce themselves clearly. They appear as small signals, slight delays, rising complaints, small quality issues, repeated near misses. Individually, each seems manageable, so they are explained away. This is temporary. It's a one-off. We'll fix it later. But risk rarely grows in leaps. It grows in patterns. When the same issue repeats, it is no longer an incident. It is a signal. The tragedy is that organizations see these signs. They simply don't connect them. Risk doesn't explode suddenly. It accumulates quietly while everyone stays busy. Over time, something subtle happens. What once felt risky begins to feel normal. Delays become accepted. Errors become routine. Workarounds become standard practice. This is known as normalization of deviation. When people repeatedly succeed despite cutting corners, the corner no longer feels dangerous. The organization adapts to risk instead of fixing it. And this is where risk becomes invisible. Not because it disappears, but because people stop seeing it as a problem. The most dangerous risks are not the ones people fear. They're the ones people have learned to live with. Consider a common scenario across industries. A project begins with optimism. Midway, deadlines start slipping slightly. Nothing alarming, just a few adjustments. Costs rise a little. Quality checks are relaxed to save time. Teams promise recovery in the next phase. Leadership accepts these explanations. Months later, the project is delayed significantly. Budgets are exceeded. Stakeholders are unhappy. Everyone asks, how did this happen so suddenly? But it wasn't sudden. The risk was visible early. It was discussed. It was tolerated. Risk didn't fail because it was unknown. It failed because it was accepted too early. So why didn't anyone escalate the risk earlier? Because escalation is uncomfortable. People fear being seen as negative, slowing progress, challenging authority, being blamed if they're wrong. Over time, silence feels safer than honesty. Risk becomes someone else's problem. Teams assume leadership already knows. Leadership assumes teams will manage. This gap is where risk grows unchecked. Risk management fails not because people don't care, but because speaking up carries personal risk. Until organizations make escalation safe, early risk will always be suppressed. Eventually, the risk can no longer be ignored. A major failure occurs. A system breaks. A client is lost. A project collapses. Reputation is damaged. Suddenly, urgency appears. Emergency meetings are called. External experts are brought in. People scramble for solutions. Ironically, this is when risk finally gets attention. But now the cost is higher. Options are fewer. Damage is already done. At this stage, organizations don't manage risk. They manage consequences. And the same people who ignored early warnings ask, why didn't anyone tell us? After every major failure, the same phrase appears. No one could have predicted this. But that is rarely true. Most failures are predictable, not predicted. The signs existed. Repeated issues, warning emails, informal conversations, uncomfortable observations. They were simply not treated as decisive. Risk management doesn't fail suddenly. It fails slowly, quietly, and politely. The real failure is not lack of foresight, it is lack of willingness to act early. Effective risk management looks very different. It treats small signals seriously. It rewards early escalation. It pauses decisions when patterns appear. Strong organizations don't wait for certainty. They act on probability and impact. They understand one simple truth: early action feels uncomfortable. Late action feels catastrophic. Risk management is not about predicting the future. It is about responding honestly to the present. The risk that destroys organizations is rarely hidden. It is seen early, discussed casually, ignored repeatedly, until one day it is impossible to ignore. The real question is not, did we know the risk? The real question is, why did we choose not to act? If risk only gets attention after damage occurs, then it was never managed, only tolerated. And tolerated risks always come back with interest.